magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening, good evening, good evening everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. To our non-Filipino viewers, good evening to everyone. This is going to be a little bit of a Filipino first in my intro. Ready ka na ba sa isang oras ng balita at balitaktakan? Pues, samahan niyo ako sa mundo ng entertainment, music at social media at sa tulong na rin ng teknolohiya, we will keep you informed sa mga latest showbiz happenings. Kaya halina at sumali sa aming kwentuhan. Ikwento na yan, ispluk mo na yan, at ikechika na yan. Dito lamang sa Starbuzz Live. Sana makita ko yung aking video. Ito na po. The views and opinions of the guests do not reflect the views and opinions of the hosts. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the hosts do not reflect the views and opinions of the show, the management of this page, and the affiliations of the hosts.
Too different, too wild, too loud, done with too much style. Too far, too futuristic, and far too young to mess with. Too smooth, too elevated, too smart, too concentrated, too ill, too ever stand still, too hard-headed to bend to think. Feel something real, feel something real, feel something real, feel something real, yeah!
Yan, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening to everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Everyone here in Singapore and all over the world. Sa mga kababayan po natin sa Pilipinas, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Samahan niyo ako sa isang oras ng kwentuhan ngayong gabi. And of course, sa ating mga kababayan dyan sa Pilipinas, ingat po kayo sa mga, I think parang nagkaroon ng bagyo ata last week, no? Pero nako, malapit na naman ang undas. And of course, Halloween nga yung ating sounds kanina. So medyo talaga namang aligned sa ating Halloween special sa mga susunod na araw. But for tonight, we will still have our very special guest. Kahapon nga po ay umattend po kami ng national pageant dito sa Singapore, ang Miss Universe Singapore, kung saan ay naimbitahan po tayo ng national director dito na si Miss Valerie Lim. Thank you very much, Valerie, for inviting us in sa Miss Universe Singapore last night. And of course, I forgot to mention this. For more updates, please like and share our social media accounts. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Lahat po yan ay Rated G Official. And of course, sa ating email na ratedgofficial@gmail.com. Okay, nako, napaka-special po talaga ng ating palabas ngayon. Tonight is a very special episode because we have a super special guest tonight. Who is she? Let's watch this.
And the winner for the Miss Universe Singapore 2022, Carissa Yap, with the first runner-up, Yvonne Sashireka.
The pageant fever is on. Another queen has been crowned. Carissa Yap bested 9 other finalists for the most coveted crown of Miss Universe Singapore. This 22-year-old business student showcased her beauty and elegance and complemented it with her smart answers during the question and answer segment of the pageant. Aside from school, she spends her time on her physical activities like taekwondo and currently into hot yoga. Carissa will be representing Singapore in the 71st edition of Miss Universe to be held on January at New Orleans, Louisiana, USA. But before that, let's get to know more of our Miss Universe Singapore 2022, Carissa Yap, live on Starbuzz Live. Fresh na fresh from yesterday's pageant, the one and the only Miss Universe Singapore 2022, Carissa Yap. Good evening to you, Carissa.
Good evening. Hello, everyone on Starbuzz Live. Hello, Rated J. Hello, everyone from the Philippines as well as Singapore, those who are tuning in. Thank you so much. Good evening to all of you.
I'm literally having some goosebumps right now. I don't know why. It's the first time I'm having this feeling of Seriously, I'm not kidding. This is my first time to be feeling this goosebumps in all the 79 episodes that we have done in this Starbuzz Live for the first time. I don't know why.
Oh
But
my
I
god.
think it's because of the vibrance that you've actually brought tonight. It is your first
Thank
ever,
you.
am I correct? This is your first
Yes.
ever interview
Yes.
right
It's my
after
first ever
the pageant.
interview.
Actually, I was the very first one who interviewed her as well yesterday because right after
Yes.
the pageant, I went and approached her and asked her a few questions. But of course, I wasn't satisfied with
Yes. It
that.
was
It
so
was too
nice
short.
meeting you yesterday.
Yes, it is. It was too short for me to really ask more questions because I know that you were very busy and you were excited to see everyone else, including your family. So that's why I gave the night to you. But tonight is the night that I'm going to ask more questions to you. Are you ready for that? Are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh yeah,
I
okay,
didn't catch
sure.
your
All
last part.
right. Now I was saying that if you're ready for my questions for tonight, because yesterday I didn't get the chance to ask questions,
Ah,
more any more questions
yes.
yesterday. So tonight is the night that I'm going to ask you more questions.
Bring
So
it
are you
on.
ready for
I'm
it?
all ready.
Great. All right. Okay. First of all, congratulations first. I've said this many times, but really congratulations for winning Miss Universe Singapore 2022. Have you now slept well? And how do you feel right now?
How do I feel right now?
Yeah, have you
Honestly,
slept? Have you slept well last night or probably this
no, I couldn't sleep.
afternoon?
I couldn't sleep well. It really hasn't settled in for me yet. Still in shock, but I think slowly I'm starting to feel it, letting it in, slowly starting to realize that, it has finally happened to me. So still in shock. I think right now I'm much more surprised, happy. The feelings are all settling in. Very, very thankful, grateful to have met all the other nine strong finalists. And I'm just so proud of all of us for coming on this way and seeing how each of us has grown. I think that's the most touching to me.
Right. But can you exactly tell us how was the feeling, that moment that your name was called? Because it was just the two of you then, and you were holding hands. Is it a
Yes.
typical, Miss Universe
Yes.
scene where you have two people? First, one is a first runner up, and the other one is the winner. How do you feel right at that very moment?
I think at that moment it was very nerve wracking for us because with all the background music playing in and then we were holding each other's hands. But I think, like when we got caught up in the moment, we were actually talking to each other, saying to
Mhm.
each other how proud to see each other grow so far, as well as being able to make the top two. Actually, I really, really sincerely think that everyone is a winner. So whatever your placement, your title, it's just a value added bonus. But what really matters is the growth journey so far. So at that point of time, we were very nervous, but it all played out like this well.
Were your hands very cold, or were you like shaking at that moment? Were your hands cold? I think naghang po siya. Okay, let me repeat my question. I think you stopped somewhere there. My question was, were your hands cold at that moment? Were your hands shaking? What were you exactly telling to the other lady? I know you've just mentioned that you're how proud you are with the you are
Yes,
how
yes.
proud you are.
Mm.
Um, what were you exactly saying
I
to her?
think we were definitely shaking when we were holding each other's hands because the background music was so dramatic, everything, the whole atmosphere, it was really nerve wracking.
Mhm.
I think what we said to each other was just, let's just hope for the best. We really did come a long way and we're just so happy, so proud of each other no matter what the outcome is. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's what we told each other.
Wow, we get to know more about the things that happened before the pageant itself later on. But before that, maybe let me just ask about yourself, about you as Carissa.
Mm,
Usually, I would ask this question to my guests here, like how was their childhood, etc., etc. But for now, let me do a little bit of a twist. I guess you're in your room right now. Am I correct?
yes, I am.
In your room, in your personal room, right? If you were to describe your childhood using one item inside your room right now, what would it be? Probably you can get that item in your room and describe to us how is your childhood. I'll give you
Hmm.
5 seconds to go and get
Okay,
that
let me go and
item.
get
All
my.
right. Okay, while she's getting the item, yeah, we've also got a chance to meet her mom and her lola, her grandmom yesterday. They were both beautiful ladies. Right. Okay, great. So
All
what
right, I'm
describes
back.
your childhood, Carissa?
I'm back with my terrarium. Yes.
Wow. Did you actually
Yeah.
buy this or you made it yourself?
I made it. I actually made this
Wow.
terrarium. So it was very recent, I think during a wellness retreat. So the whole idea is to really just to calm down. Like our daily life is very stressful. So the whole
Mhm.
idea of building this terrarium was actually to, sort of just listen to yourself, see and create whatever you feel like. And I think to me what really represented my childhood or made me think about my childhood was, the different colors that I added in. I
Mhm.
think that childhood innocence, as well as this cute little
Mhm.
blue bear. Yeah,
Mhm.
blue is one of my favorite colors. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think just having this chance to create something that is close to me,
Mhm.
I think this is really what would remind me of my childhood and of the innocence and happiness that each child has.
And you're telling us that your childhood is really very colorful. Um, does it mean to say that you were really, you grew up with a lot of friends around you? It seems like you've always been a very happy person, but were there also sad moments in your childhood, or everything was just perfectly fine?
No, I think from my childhood, it was simple but fun. I think I really had a lot of love and support from my family members. You saw
Hmm.
yesterday my mom and grandma came to
Yes,
support me, but
I was
definitely
just
it
talking.
wasn't
I
all
was talking to
roses
her
or
for
happiness.
Yeah, I was talking to her for a few minutes, and she
Yes,
was a very beautiful lady. Mm.
she was telling me how well you guys hit it off.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I was telling
So,
her that because she's working in the same bank that my mom used to work, so that's where the connection
ah,
was. Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah. So, how many siblings do you have?
I have one younger brother.
All right, and
Yes.
and
So
he. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So growing up, I think it was very simple but happy childhood that I had. But personally, I grew up in a single parent family, so my dad wasn't really very present. So I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say it was all roses or happiness, or it was, it was always happy all the time. But I think definitely, you're able to draw strength from the little happiness from your daily lives. So I think that's where I really learned to look at the positive side of things, that no
Mm-hmm.
matter what, you should always just, look for the best, try your best, and just smile because it makes
Mm-hmm.
you happy.
Well, I could see the positivity in you, that despite the things that happened to you, I mean, growing up with a single mom, is probably it's probably difficult for her as well. Because yesterday I was talking also to another mom who was also a single mom, and she's the
Mm,
mom of one of the contestants, and I could really see that she was so strong, and I could really see
yes.
that she was but she was still very she was still full of positivity in her life. So I could imagine, that even if life was tough, probably at some point in your life, I could really see that positivity in you. Where are you getting that positivity, that vibrance of, from your smile? And I really could see that you're a very positive person.
Thank you. But yes, I'm very close to my mom and my grandma, which is why yesterday. So I think definitely drawing strength from my mom, because I've seen how much she has grown or how independent she was, no matter what sort of challenges or setbacks she faced. I think it has really taught me that, no matter what happens, life still goes on. And, what's best is to just look at the positive side of things and,
Mm.
change the things that you're able to change if the things around you can't. So change your own mindset and you'll be able to gain much more happiness from that.
That's very true. But what about your the dynamics of your with your other sibling? How is that? Are you close to your brother? Are you or do you always have fights, or how was that? Because if you ask me, I wasn't very close to my siblings
Mm,
until recently, I would say. But what about you? How was it having
yeah,
just
so
just one sibling in your family?
I have a younger brother. He's actually serving army right now. So actually I don't have like a lot of time to be able to meet him very often. But I
Mm,
think growing up, yes, we did fight a lot, but we had so much fun playing as well, wrestling and
wow.
just quarreling with each other. I think that's actually, one of the simple joys when I look back and think like how happy we were, just wrestling and playing. So yeah, right now we don't have as much time to spend with each other because of work and other daily commitments. But
Mm.
yeah, I would still say that we don't fight anymore.
Oh, definitely, you're too grown old
We
to
don't
fight.
wrestle anymore too.
I believe your mom was always there to stop you guys, and she would probably had always a hard time
Yes.
you know uh taking care of both of you back then. But of course, these
Yeah,
were all part
totally.
of the childhood, and we all go through this kind of joys and happiness
Mm,
in our childhood, right?
definitely.
Yeah, right. Okay. Did you ever want to be a beauty title holder when you were younger? Is it like when you were a kid, you would always like wear probably your mom's clothes, or you would probably get a piece of cloth and then you wrap around yours to your body, and then imagine that you have a crown? Is that something that you probably have thought of when you were younger?
No, definitely not. Because, I mean, when I was younger, definitely I played with my mom's clothes, makeup, but the whole idea of beauty pageants, I think it's not a very big thing in Singapore, so I really had no idea about it at all until recently when I stumbled across the Miss Universe Singapore's page that said
Mm-mm.
they were, calling out for applicants to join the pageant. And I think I actually thought to myself, why not? Because I actually want to do something for myself. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone to try something new and to put myself out there in front of people and show my true authentic self. And I think this platform really enabled me to do so.
Mm.
So yeah, beauty pageants has really never been on my mind. I think it's because it's not a very big thing or it's not part of the culture here in Singapore. But
Mm.
I'm just so thankful that I managed to stumble across the advertisement because I realized that I've gained and grown so much from here.
Right, but when you actually stumbled that advertisement from their Facebook page, or probably somewhere else, was it immediate, like you wanted to say, oh yeah, I wanted to actually join this, or did it take someone else to push you and convince you to join the pageant?
I think actually what really motivated me was seeing Nandita, how far she has grown. Because me and Nandita used to go to the same high school previously. So I
Mm.
really saw her growth progress from how she was back in high school all the way to the beautiful, confident woman she is right now. I was
Yes.
really inspired, really impressed to be and to see her grow so much, being so confident, being able to be so outspoken. It was something that I also wanted to learn. I also wanted to grow and see this growth and progress in myself. So I think that was the intrinsic motivation that really made me go for this and to try this out.
And definitely you're right, because the first time I also saw Nandita right in this program, although she was already very outspoken, but you could see her transformation then
Yes.
and now, that she exudes that elegance and that confidence when she talks, when she walks, when she
Yeah.
mingles with people. It's very different right now
Yeah.
as compared to the first time I've actually seen her in
Mm.
this show. So, what were your preparations then before the competition? Because you've mentioned this is your first competition, right? Did you have to watch previous contests or previous beauty pageants? Did you watch Miss Universe? Did you see? Did you have any peg, like probably some of the previous Miss Universe winners?
Yeah, so in preparation for the competition, we've had a few trainings, catwalk trainings, as well as Q&A trainings with Dr. Jean, who was really helpful in helping us sort of think about what is the message we wanted to bring across by ourselves, as well as how we want to structure it. And definitely watching Miss Universe 2021, I watched the Q&A segment for the top 5, as well as for the top 3. So I think that was how I prepared myself leading up to the final day yesterday.
But did you have your own personal training? Like, you actually did your catwalk by yourself, or was it just during that group, preparation or group rehearsals that you had with Miss
Mm.
Universe Singapore?
I think personally, how I trained my catwalk, especially because right from the start, I wasn't like full time model, or I wasn't really into this whole. I wasn't a pageant girl, so I didn't really know how to do my catwalk. So I think how I wanted to improve by myself was that I tried to practice my catwalk, once a week, and then slowly start to ramp it up twice a week, and then started every day nearer to the competition. I would film myself and then sort of see how I look in front of the camera to sort
Mm.
of change my posture and the way I walk. But definitely it's still a work in progress, and I hope to improve furthermore before the internationals.
Was it difficult? Because obviously the way that we normally walk is different from, like, when you walk with your heels, when it has to be very up. There's a difference, right? When you actually walk
Mm.
in the ramp. How was it? Did you have any physical strain, or how was it, especially during those first few rehearsals or few catwalks that you had?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you have seen our platform heels, but they were this high, and
I
then the
know.
heel was also like I think about 6 inches high. So when I
Right.
first put it on, I was like, whoa, this certainly
Was
needs
was
time
it
to get used
intimidating at
to.
first?
Sorry?
Was it intimidating at first that, oh,
Yes,
I'm gonna
very.
do
When I first
this?
saw it at the shop, I was like, how am I going to wear those? And they were heavy. So it was my first time actually wearing such high heels, because normally when I go to school, I normally just wear sneakers or flats.
Mhm,
So it's my very first time wearing such high heels. Took some time for me to get used to. Definitely the ankles, the soles of my feet were starting
mhm,
to hurt, as well as my thighs. And I
mhm,
realized you have to use a lot of core muscles when you
mhm.
do your catwalk.
So it's like really going through a physical training as well, right?
Yes, it's a whole
Right,
whole exercise.
right. But before that, you've mentioned that you're into taekwondo and currently you're in hot yoga. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so I did taekwondo in high school.
Okay.
I think it was then where I actually wanted to, pick up a martial arts sport. So before that, I was actually doing ballet. So, I thought I
Hmm.
was a bit more flexible.
Okay, she went off. Okay, now you're
Hello?
back. You're back.
Yeah, yeah. So previously I was doing ballet, so I thought, I was a bit flexible, but I
Mhm,
wanted to build my strength. So in high school, that was where I decided to pick up taekwondo, because I wanted to learn some form of martial arts and self defense. So yeah, there was that where I had a lot of fun actually learning basic self-defense skills. And then recently I've been feeling very sore, my muscles from all the trainings, which is why I wanted to pick up hot yoga. And I think what I really like about hot yoga is that it really makes you perspire buckets. Like being in that hot room, I don't know why it's so
Mhm.
therapeutic. And being able to stretch out all your muscles, all your sore muscles after a long day, that the feeling is so great.
Mm. But because of this, do guys normally are intimidated with you because you're into taekwondo? It's like you could always do all these martial arts forms to them, and definitely it would be very difficult for them to go near to you, right? Do guys normally get intimidated because you're into this kinds of martial arts?
No, I don't think so. I've actually not come across any guy or any guy friend who have said that to me before. Because
Okay.
after all, I feel that taekwondo is a self-defense sport. It's not a form of aggression. It's more of protecting yourself, learning how to defend yourself. And I think it also builds strength, builds your own resilience.
Mm-mm.
And if a man is intimidated by that, it's not your fault. It's on him.
Right.
It's
You're
his
right.
ego.
Correct. All right. Let's talk about a little bit more of your talents. Aside from this too, do you have any other talents? Like, do you sing? Do you dance? Do you like to act?
Well, I danced back when I was a kid, so
Oh
I
yeah, because
did
you started with
ballet.
the ballet.
Yeah, I did ballet for about a good 9 to 10 years. So I think
Wow.
right now I'm actually just sort of enjoying dancing as like something that I do in my free time as like a leisure. So sometimes I even incorporate it into my workouts. So I'll try
Mm-hmm.
and find like dance workouts to make
Mm-hmm.
it much more fun for me and less boring. It makes me much more motivated as well.
Do you attend to any dance schools here in Singapore or dance classes?
Yes. Oh, you mean when I was doing ballet?
No, I
When I
mean
was doing
right
ballet, I
now.
was
Right
with.
now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah,
Right
right.
now, I'm actually following YouTube dance workouts.
I
Yeah,
see.
so
Well,
by
I
Pamela Reed.
well, okay.
Huge fan of hers.
But I would probably advise you to still try to attend um, dance classes because they would be able to teach you techniques, which it is not easily learned when you actually watch it. Of course, you can always watch that in YouTube, but sometimes I think these dancers normally they would really go to
Yes.
schools so that they would be able to learn the techniques. For example, if you're doing those jazz walks, jazz
Ah, yes,
dance, yeah,
yes.
if you're into that, then you probably it's a
Mm,
good idea to really go into this
yes.
kinds
So,
of
uh,
classes.
I actually picked up street jazz in university. So I
Wow.
joined some classes with my friends in school, and it was just a really fun class for us to like just relax. We did it for about I think a good 3 months. Yeah, and we picked up. We learned so much about ourselves, the ways we can do this.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
actually did it with like a guy friend of mine. He was very surprised because it was his first time dancing. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think dancing really makes you much more creative and lets you learn more about yourself as well.
And gives you the right form when you're actually walking, when you're
Yes,
actually standing. There's really it gives you that discipline of
gives you the
the right
posture.
posture, of
Mm.
the right posture. But so if there is a talent portion in Miss Universe, probably you will be doing dancing or taekwondo.
I think I would do taekwondo. Yes,
Okay, so you're more
I would
comfortable
like
with
to.
that.
Yes, I would like to show strength and flexibility if that is something that I want to be performing.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Do you have any hidden talents, like something that is not something that's rare, something that usually other people don't really know? Do you have any hidden talents that you may want to first time show us? Can you do? Can you like twist your hands, move it 360 degrees?
Hidden talents. Mm, I would say that I have really long fingers. If that's not a hidden talent, but I think it's unusual.
Okay.
Well, I think my
Can you
ability.
show us? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. It's
I
really
have really
long.
long bones. Yes, I think that's why I'm tall as well. But well, I have my
Right.
mom to thank for.
Oh my goodness. But do you have any insecurities? Because you are so beautiful. Yeah, you have you have the looks, you have the brains, but as beautiful as you are, do you still have insecurities?
Yes, definitely. I think everyone does have their insecurities, me as well. So it's not just about a particular thing or particular aspect that I'm insecure about. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like my insecurities, come and go. They're sort of
Mm-hmm.
fleeting. They're not always about the same thing, but I think it's more of how you're handling these insecurities to sort of see what's the root cause that is bringing this about. And actually, if you're unable to change that, I think what you're able to do is to actually change the way you approach it. So your mindset, I think definitely looking towards the positive side of things, learning how to accept it yourself. I think that's what really helps me to sort of handle all my insecurities.
Wow, okay, that's good to know. All right, the next segment that we're going to do right now is called Random Questions. Okay, so we've asked random people in Singapore to ask questions to you. So, given that span of almost less than 2 hours that we had prepared for this, I managed to get some questions from different people
Wow.
everywhere else. So I have a few questions. Let me start off with one Singaporean who's actually a host in Singapore. His name is
Hi.
JK La. He's a YouTuber as well here, and he has a question for you.
Nice.
Hey, Miss Singapore, Jakila here. If there's ever one thing you want to change about yourself, what would that be?
He is asking if there's one thing that you want to change in yourself, what would that be?
One thing that I want to change about myself, honestly, nothing. I really don't think there's anything that I would want to change about myself right now, especially because I think what makes you you is definitely what you are right now. It makes
Mm.
you unique, makes you special. I think intrinsically, there's nothing I would want to change. And I think it's really all about the inner beauty, the confidence that would really help me portray myself to the rest of the world.
Wow. All right. So at least in that sense, you are more or less confident about what your whole being right
What
now.
yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Our next question. This person is not able to give us a video question, but let me just read his question. This is coming from Noor. He is actually a Filipino, but is based here in Singapore. His question is this: as Singapore is the central hub of the digital economy, what's your take on more innovations that would deflate the need of the workforce? It's actually a tough question, but I think because he's working in an IT kind of environment, I think. So let me just repeat his question. Singapore is the central hub of the digital economy. What's your take on more innovations that would deflate the need of the workforce? This is actually a valid question, huh? This is actually a valid question.
Sorry, I
What's your
didn't
take?
catch the last part. Deflate the.
The deflate the need of the workforce.
Ah, okay, so less people working, is it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on that? Because of this more innovations that we have it here in Singapore, what is your take that there would that it would deflate the need of people
Mm,
of the
mm.
workforce?
Yes, I think that's a very valid question, especially for the time right now. But
Mm,
my take on this is that innovation, progress, it's going to happen. You cannot stop it. What we should do, I think, is to definitely work with current innovations such as AI, such as data intelligence, artificial intelligence, data solutions. I think it's important to actually combine this and then add on value so that we as people are able to provide value driven solutions. So instead of seeing it as a counteracting force, I think being able to integrate as well as being able to value add our own unique perspectives and ideas onto these artificial intelligence solutions, I think that's where we are able to value add and prove our worth that, we are much more better than artificial intelligence alone.
That's right. That's right. And we really need to know this value added that we have, yeah, as people. All right. So the next question is coming from Dr. Jean. I guess you know
Oh,
him
Dr.
well.
Jean, yes.
This is his question.
Hello, Carissa. Congratulations on winning the Miss Universe Singapore 2022 crown. You are beautiful, you're stunning, you're eloquent. I'm sure you'll be a great ambassadress of Singapore in the international stage. I understand that you're a student of business at the National University of Singapore, one of the leading global universities. What would you tell someone who's interested in pursuing higher studies at NUS?
Yeah, congratulations to NUS for placing 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? 19th place in the recent study. I forgot already what is that, but yeah, you've always been one of the top schools in the world. So that's why we all love NUS. So yeah,
I
what's
love
your
NUS.
answer to Dr. Jean's question? What's your take on people taking
So
what do you call it?
I actually
Yeah,
couldn't hear
post.
the audio in the video clip. Do you mind helping me to repeat what he said?
Okay, I don't have the script, but maybe let's just repeat the video again. Let me just try to repeat it again
Oh, I
because I
think
don't have
there's no
this.
audio coming from the video.
Oh, there's no audio. There's no
Yeah.
audio coming from the video. Okay, let me just repeat that again.
Hello, Carissa. Congratulations on winning the Miss Universe Singapore 2022 crown. You are beautiful, you're stunning, you're eloquent. I'm sure you'll be a great ambassadress of Singapore in the international stage. I understand that you're a student of business at the National University of Singapore, one of the leading global universities. What would you tell someone who's interested in pursuing higher studies at NUS?
So his question is, what will you tell someone who wants to pursue or who would want to pursue his or her studies at NUS?
Ah,
Postgraduate, I suppose.
okay. Well, I think if you want to come to NUS or if you're considering NUS, it definitely is a good choice. Trust me, am an NUS undergrad. I'm not paid, not sponsored to say this. But I think NUS really provided me a holistic space to sort of have room and freedom to grow in. I think everyone from the students to the professors, they're all very caring. It's a very kind, caring, inclusive community, and they're all supportive of your growth, of your journey, and you're able to chart the path that you want in NUS. I think you're able to get the flexibility as well as freedom of choice to pursue sort of academic studies that you would like. So yeah, I think being in NUS has been very memorable for me, and I'll definitely encourage you to join.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm actually multitasking right now. Well, I'm listening to you. I'm also typing someone because there is a
No
phone
problem.
patch. There is a phone in question from
Ah,
one of our friends. She is Charmaine
hi.
Maurice Palyari Ng. Do you actually know her?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Charmaine Falaria Ng is the current Miss Earth Singapore 2022. So she's a
Nice.
yeah, she's also a winner of a pageant here
Yes.
in Singapore, and she's actually going to the Philippines in November, if I'm not mistaken, early of
Oh,
November for the competition. So good luck to you, Miss Earth
good
Singapore.
luck. Good.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we will also be cheering for you. Okay, here is her question. Who is your role model and why?
I think personally, my role model would definitely be my mom. You saw yesterday, I'm very close to my mom, and I think from young, she has been this symbol for me of a strong, independent, and modern woman, someone that I'm able to learn a lot from. So I think she's really who I draw strength from because I'm so close to her. I always seek advice from her and share all that is happening in my life. So yeah, I think growing up, we're very close to my mom, and she has definitely been a role model for me.
Right. Speaking of your mom, we actually got the chance to interview her yesterday. Let's just
Really?
watch this. Okay. How is the feeling? Sorry about that. How's the feeling?
Excellent.
Excellent. And are you going to join her when she goes to the United
Try
States?
to if I can take leave. Yeah.
What advice did you give her when she came and joined this competition?
What did I?
What did you advise her? What was your advice for her?
Just do your best. Yeah. The worst that can happen is you don't get it.
Right, great. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Funny. It's funny.
All right, that was a very quick interview with your mom yesterday. We really tried to get her right after you won. That's like a minute after you won. We went to approach her and ask her how she felt, and we even take a picture with her. She's a very nice lady. Thank you very much. If you're watching this, mom, thank you very much, and we are so proud of
Thank
your
you for
daughter. I'm
interviewing
sure that you're
her.
very proud of your daughter as well. What do you want to say to your mom?
I think what I want to say is really
I'm
simple.
sure
Just
I'm
want
sure
to
you've
say thank
always been
you.
talking to her, right? You've always been talking to her, and for sure you've always been expressing your love and how much you really love her. But is there something that you've never told her all these years that you've always wanted to tell her, but maybe you were just a little bit shy of telling her? Is there something like that?
So I think growing up as an Asian within this Asian culture, there isn't really sort of outward expression of gratitude or just sort of showing my appreciation. But I think what I wanted to say was that what I said last night about not having to choose between beauty and intellect, that it is not a binary choice. Women don't have to choose, but they
Mm.
should combine both to harness their greatest potential. I think that is what I wanted to dedicate to her. It's not something that I would normally say because you know Asians, we don't really have this culture of sort of outwardly expressing our appreciation. But I think I would really like to dedicate what I said last night to her, and I'm very happy that she was there in the audience to be able to listen in as well.
Cliche it may sound, but if I ask this question to you, how much do you love your mom? I know it's a very common question and it's a cliche as they say, but how much do you love your mom?
I really love her a lot. I mean, it's very cliche. I know everyone says they love their moms, but it's true. It really is true. And I think maybe I haven't shared this before, but we are so close that we actually share the same room. So yeah, that's how close we are. And I really love my mom.
And when the time comes that you have to that you have to have your own family as well, then have you ever thought about that? Being away
Well,
from her.
that's a problem for the future.
So you really haven't thought about it yet.
No,
Just
not yet.
just enjoy that moment. And I'm for sure she hopes not to hear that from you soon. To be away from her. Right. Okay. Now is our segment called Tough Questions, where I'm going to ask tough questions. Okay, those questions that they've asked is actually not the tough questions. They were just like normal
Regular.
questions. So we have no, we have tougher questions that I want to ask from you in preparation for your Q&A. All right, in preparation for your Q&A. So are you ready for it? All
No, yes,
right.
bring it
It
on.
has to be this way. Okay, and I just have to put some Okay, I don't have the music to it, but yes, these are your tough questions. First tough question, Carissa. If tonight you receive a call from Prime Minister Lee and asks you to choose between representing Miss Universe and be a deputy prime minister for a week, which would you choose?
Wow, that is a tough question. But I think I would choose still being Miss Universe Singapore because I feel that being Deputy Prime Minister for a week, there isn't much impact that I can create within that short week. But as Miss Universe Singapore, within the year, I'm able to do much more, being able to impact much more around me. So I think I'll still choose to be Miss Universe Singapore.
All right. Second tough question. What can you say of beauty pageants now that includes transgenders, particularly female or women beauty pageants? What can you say about women beauty pageants that now includes transgenders?
Well, I think my take on it is I'm all for it, definitely, because women, I think it's not about who you are biologically, but who you represent, the feminine energy within you. I think that's what you're supposed to encapsulate, what you want to radiate, what you want to harness. I think the power of vulnerability, there's power in vulnerability, and if you're able to harness that strength, harness that feminine energy within you. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female biologically, as long as you identify yourself as someone who is strong, beautiful, confident. I'm all for it, all for transgenders to take part in beauty pageants.
All right. Third tough question. Speaking of strong women, do you think female Singaporeans should be conscripted to national service?
Sorry, I think it was
Uh,
cut off.
do you
If
think do you think female Singaporeans should be conscripted to national service, or should they join the national service?
Wow, that's a really tough question.
By the way,
Well,
that question
as
is
a
from
female
Dr. G.
myself, mm, I think right now, as a female myself, we are able to get, you know, the choice whether we want to conscript into national service or not. But I think definitely it is a good move towards equality, towards, having a sustainable force for the nation. I think it is good for females to join. It is a form of empowerment, but I think it may not be the right time right now because our society is not sort of ready for that sudden shift that women have to be conscripted. But I think in future it definitely is a good move.
All right. Tough question number four. Is this number four now? I think it's number four. I'm not counting. All right. What do you think, or what distinguishes a Singaporean queen from the rest of the other queens from the other countries? What distinguishes a Singaporean queen from the rest of the queens from other countries?
I think what distinguishes Singaporean queens would definitely be their diversity in their perspectives. Having grown up in such a multiracial, diverse community, Singaporeans are definitely exposed to a multitude of perspectives, multitude of opinions. I think that is what we want to bring across to an international stage, having the empathy to listen and to understand from each other's point of views.
Okay, which brings me to my fifth tough question. You know that Singapore is not a country who is in really into this kind of beauty pageants. If you meet a 21-year-old lady right now, how would you introduce Miss Universe to this lady, to this Singaporean lady?
Yes. pageant culture is really not that strong in Singapore compared to the Philippines. But if I were to meet 21-year-old pageant hopeful, I would definitely encourage her to join this journey. It has been nothing but growth, support, and what the changes I see in myself is something that I wouldn't have the chance to if I didn't join this journey. I didn't have to be able to journey on this platform. I am very grateful for this opportunity, and I think it really is a once in a lifetime chance. So to the 21-year-old that I meet, I would definitely advise her to go for it. You will discover so much more about yourself, be much more sure, confident, and I think you would grow into a strong, beautiful woman.
All right. Last two questions. It's gonna be very quick. What are your thoughts on the impending repeal of S377A?
I am all for
I
it.
think, yeah, I think this is a
It
very timely
yeah,
topic right now. Mm.
yes, I am all for it. I think it has been far too long that 377A is still being criminalized in Singapore. So I think the repeal comes at a very timely moment. I think it is a step for us as Singaporeans to show how much more inclusive we are to as a society, and I think it is a good step ahead.
All right. And my very final question, which I've asked this for most of the uh, pageant winners who join me in this program. Why should you not be Miss Universe 2022?
Why should I not be? Well, honestly, it really was unexpected for me. You know, having joined this journey, it was everything was just a blur. I was just so shocked last night. I told you it hasn't really settled in, but I think that maybe one reason is that everyone I've met on this journey, the 9 other finalists, they are really strong, really beautiful, really confident. I drew so much strength and inspiration from them. I think in all of our hearts, everyone is definitely a winner. It may sound cliche, but I've seen each one of them grow, and I'm just so, so proud of each and every one of them.
All right, congratulations. You were able to survive our tough questions. Were they really tough or they were just so so?
They were tough, they were really tough. I
Right.
really
I
had to
hope it
think.
I hope it's a practice for you before you go to
Yes,
your and then
definitely.
for sure Dr. G will have to ask you more and more and more tough questions before you go to
On
the
why and
pageant.
you
Yeah. But before you go to US in January. Your
yes,
pageant is in January
14,
when is it? 20 plus?
14.
14th, January
Yes.
14. Well, we hope that for sure we will be there to see you and cheer for you when when you go to the US. And even if we're here in Singapore, we'll definitely be cheering you all the way.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so
Right.
much.
Okay. I wanted to ask you a question. Have you read some of the feeds in the social media right after you won?
I haven't had the chance to read through everything, but I managed to see a lot of messages so far.
Mm.
May not be
Mm.
everything, but I managed to catch some.
Right. How do you manage negative criticisms um about you in general?
Mm.
Or have you ever seen any negative feedback or negative criticisms? Is there positive criticism in criticisms about you? Probably
Mm.
not with Miss Universe Singapore, but probably even before.
I think personally, how I handle it is sort of understanding who I am as a person, staying grounded, realizing my own worth, and that is not affected by what other people say because what they say is actually based on untruths, based on falsehoods. But if I am sure of who my core self is, I'm sure of who I am, and I don't let all these negativity get to me because I am sure of myself, my core values, and yeah, I think as long as there are people who support me, I will definitely continue on my journey of growth and continue to improve myself from here.
Right. Very good. And what are okay, my last two questions. How are you preparing for Miss Universe?
How am I preparing for the internationals? Wow. So
Right.
we just concluded.
Have you already spoken to Valerie of like your schedules? How is it gonna be done? Are you going to the Philippines for your for your
Yes, yes. I think
practice?
we are discussing that we might be going to the Philippines to practice. So yeah, right now everything is in a flurry. Everything is sort of rushing and like coming really fast. So I've managed to sort of speak to Valerie a little, and I think we're starting to pick pace up from here. So yeah, really excited for what's to come.
Right, because for the past 2 years, the ladies weren't really able to go to the Philippines
Yes,
because of the lockdown thing. But this
COVID.
year, at least you probably get a chance to go to the Philippines. And when you go to the Philippines, Valerie, if she's going to the Philippines, please let me know so I could go and join you guys and
Yes,
cover.
come,
Yeah, I want to
come,
go
come.
back to the Philippines and really see how you guys are doing your rehearsals and your practice and all this catwalk thing
Yes,
with Empire Philippines, right? With Empire
yes,
Philippines, with
Empire Philippines.
Jonas. Yeah, with Jonas. Right.
Yeah.
What's next after Miss Universe? What's gonna be the next thing for you? Are you still going to join other pageants? I think this is
No.
already like the top of the top of the pageants, right? So are you? I'm not sure if you still want to join other pageants, but yes. What's next after after your reign?
Mm. I think, well, right now, definitely focusing on Miss Universe, but well, I'm still a student after all, so I'm definitely focusing on my studies, focusing on myself, my core self, who I am. So I think definitely what I'm passionate about my studies, about finance. I think that's something that I'd like to continue and see the sort of solutions that I'm able to provide and reach out to a wider group of people.
Super last question. Are you pressured knowing that Nandita made it to the top 16 last year? Is there like I mean, let's be frank about it. Is there like a pressure on your shoulder right now?
I think right now, for me, I don't really feel any pressure at the moment because I feel that it's not a competition after all between me and her. I feel that, it's more of a journey for yourself. How much you have grown, no matter what the result, I always know that at the end of the journey, I have improved, I have progressed. As long as I did my best, I think that's what really matters to me.
All right. With that, before we go, let me just read a few comments. Vilma is watching us. It says, "Good evening, Rated J." Of course, Valerie is here. Eurydice is watching us. Congratulations, Miss Carissa Yap from
Thank
our fellow
you.
Filipinos here. Rose Amistad is watching us. Congratulations, Miss Universe Singapore, Carissa Yap.
Hi,
Our
everyone.
fellow Filipina who is a Filipina slash Singaporean. This is Charmaine Maurice Valaria Ng. Congratulations, Carissa,
Hi.
for winning Miss
Congrats.
Universe Singapore with love. Charmaine, Miss Earth Singapore. I love that. All
Yeah,
these
congrats,
ladies.
Charmaine.
Yeah, and yeah, good luck to you.
Yes,
Very
good
soon,
luck.
she's going to the Philippines in a
Nice.
few weeks. Yeah, so we wish you all the luck. Charlene Roscoe, who's also a beauty title, is here in Singapore. Hello, Miss Singapore. All the best from
Hi.
Charlene
Thank you so
Roscoe.
much,
We have Nena Montemayor
everyone.
Castillo.
Thank
Congratulations. Yeah. And
you.
just keep on putting all your comments there and you'll be able to read it later on. With that, any final word for our viewers, Carissa?
Well, to everyone tuning in tonight and to everyone who has shown me support, I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it. I'm very grateful to the team and everyone behind the scenes, as well as Rated J for giving me the time tonight to be able to speak with you guys. And I will work my best to continue to improve on myself towards the international stage. Thank you and see you soon.
Thank you very much. That's Carissa Yap, reigning Miss Universe Singapore, or very fresh from the oven yesterday. Miss
Yesterday.
Universe Singapore, Carissa Yap. Thank
Thank
you for joining us tonight.
you.
I know it
Thank
was a
you for
last minute.
having me.
It was a last minute thing, but thank you very much for joining us. Please stay there. I'm just we're gonna take a picture after this. Let me just do some extra. And
Okay.
yan po ang ating ang ating kwentuhan ngayong gabi. Samahan niyo muli kami sa susunod na Sabado or sa susunod na Martes sa isa na namang masayang balita at balitaktakan mula po dito sa Singapore. Ako po si June. Sa ngalan ng aking mga kasama sa programang ito. Ito ang programang ginawa ng mga Overseas Filipino mula sa Kapwa Overseas Filipino. Ito ang Starbuzz Live. Thank you very much everyone for joining us. See you tomorrow for Kuro Kuro sessions po. Thank you for watching our program. Please do like and share this video. Don't forget to watch our other videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Salamat, Carita J.